Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation Loss and Grief in a High School Setting. Today's topics we will be covering are basics of grief, development phases, collaboration, interventions, and then we will conclude. So our first topic is basics of grief. In this topic we will be covering what is grief and the 5 stages of grief. But first, let's overview a scenario. The scenario is a screenshot between a student and her best friend Tiffany. The student texts Tiffany, "I'm really upset. So much I feel like crying. This is so depressing." Tiffany replies, "Why? What happened?" The student responds, "I lost my place on the team today. I don't know what happened. I performed the same as I always did in every tryout. I just feel so depressed. I can't handle this. I'm seriously crying so hard right now. I'm not coming to school tomorrow." Tiffany replies, "Girl, it's just a team though. No reason to get yourself all worked up and depressed about." Tiffany is not very understanding what it means to grieve. So let's understand more what is grief. Grief occurs whenever there is a loss. There can be many examples of loss, including death, which is what most people think about, friendship, a place on the team, like our student was experiencing, moving, etc. There are 5 stages of grief. The first stage is denial, the second stage is anger, the third stage is bargaining, the fourth stage is depression, and the fifth and last stage is acceptance. Let's dive a little deeper. The first stage is denial. It is the first reaction to loss. This stage is a buffer for children from fully experiencing the unexpected loss. Some children may even pretend the loss did not occur due to their level of emotional development. The second stage is anger. Anger might be more intense and shift into emotions like hate, terror, and rage. To help, counselors want to bring these feelings out in the open and helping students express these feelings in a healthy way. The third stage is bargaining. This stage is defined by irrational beliefs that revolve around how could they have prevented it. An example is, if I would have been blank, maybe he wouldn't have died left. For example, in a situation in which a father leaves a family, the child or adolescent might think, if I would have been a better daughter, maybe he wouldn't have left. The fourth stage is depression. Feelings of this stage are depression or sadness. And experiencing sadness helps the child move on to the next stage, which is the last stage of acceptance. The fifth stage is the final stage of acceptance. Adolescents come to realize the loss is permanent. They accept the lost person is not coming back. Counselors should help children understand the lost person will always be a part of their lives. So how do adolescents handle grief developmentally? Adolescents have development phases special to them. They think like an adult, can comprehend, but sometimes emotionally unable to. They may feel guilt, anger, and even some responsibility for the death. They begin to realize they and their loved ones will die someday. And they may seek support of family or friends, or may withdraw to themselves because of being unsure how to handle own emotions. We always want to make sure that we're there for the student. Best practice is for school counselors to always collaborate. The student's best interest is in the hand of many who want to be there to help, especially during difficult times. School counselors might want to collaborate with teachers, and parents, as they play a big part of their daily lives. One of the best people to collaborate are with teachers. They're a huge part of the student adolescents' daily lives. And for the most part, teachers aren't sure really how to handle grief. Most teachers might require assistance when working with students who experience loss. The same training given to children and the adolescents at the school should be given to the teachers. When counselors do in-classroom workshops, teachers should remain present. Parents are always concerned for their children's well-being. School counselors want to make sure that they include parents for parents to feel comfortable that their students are being educated and trained. Parents benefit from knowing grief and loss workshop guidance is being taught. Parental collaboration should include bereavement-related information in the school's newsletter and workshops for parents and teachers. It's always important that the school counselors take some sort of action. School counselors can work on interventions. Working together and collaborating can lead to a great opportunity for educating and the beginning of prevention and solutions. Some of these solutions and interventions include parent-teacher workshops and classroom crisis intervention. This is an outline for a parent-teacher workshop that counselors can do. The first part of this workshop should make introductions. It's always best to establish a foundation of trust by introducing yourself as a school counselor and having an interest in what teachers and parents are present. The second is present the purpose of the workshop. We want to make sure that parents and teachers are aware that this does have a purpose and we are all working towards something. Third, share the rationale for unit students. We want to share why we are targeting this specific population when it comes to loss and grief. 4 is to teach the basics of the student unit. We need to make sure that teachers and parents understand that loss is a part of everyday life, educate them on feelings associated with loss and the stages of grief, give them options and help them give their students and adolescents support systems, and then do a summary, and then lastly, always take questions. Another intervention is Classroom Crisis Intervention, CCI. These lessons would review stages of grief, help process feelings, emphasize all feelings are normal, and identify support systems. Classroom Crisis Intervention has many advantages. It is time efficient since counselors are able to reach multiple students at once versus in the traditional individual counseling. It normalizes responses and emotions by hearing their peers and their experience, and it provides emotional support within each other and understanding that the counselor is there for the students as well. Now we have covered all the topics of basics of grief, development phases, collaboration, and interventions. Lastly, we're going to conclude this presentation. To conclude, we should remember a few things. To effectively target grief and loss in schools, school counselors need intervention and initiatives that focus on stages of grief, understanding feelings, and identifying support systems. School counselors are in a teaching position to train teachers and parents about loss and grief. Best practice program initiatives should target classrooms as a whole because it is time efficient and can cover the lesson strategies to multiple students. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Here are some of the references used.